There's an awful lot in this shoe that just ticks every box for me. I'm definitely going to be looking at it for the channel. I said to myself, this is a shoe that has to come to the Tokyo Bada 23 sneaker channel because I'm in Tokyo. So when a shoe comes out that is tied so closely to Japan and to Tokyo, I just have to do it. But then on top of that, it's absolutely clean. Now, I said in a recent video about the Air Jordan 1 Dark Mocha that I've got my eye out for an Air Jordan 1. I have had my eye out for an Air Jordan 1 since I've had this channel, almost 2 years looking for the right shoe to bring and give you guys an in-hand review, and this might be it. I might go ahead and pull the trigger and make this my Air Jordan 1 in-hand review for you guys because it's absolutely beautiful. It's an amazing shoe made from really clean materials, and it's got that history that ties it together with Japan and Tokyo in particular, which is exactly where I am. So this shoe ticks an awful lot of boxes for me. There are an awful lot of reasons why I'm thinking about getting my hands on them, and I think you guys need to know as well the details on this shoe so you can decide for yourselves if you're going to dig into your pockets, get your money out, lay it down on the counter and grab a pair of these guys because they are seriously hot. So without further ado, let's do that. Let's look at this upcoming release and have take it apart, look at some of the details on there so that you can decide for yourself if it's something you want to get yourself get your hands into. So without further ado, let's take a look at the upcoming release of the Nike Air Jordan 1 CO.JP Midnight Navy. This is a Tokyo Bada 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Bada 23 sneaker channelです。毎日アップするので毎日見てください. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And I have done for something like 675 consecutive days. Not a single day missed. Every single day guaranteed content about sneakers, especially upcoming sneaker releases. That's the point, is to give you guys the information about a shoe so you can decide for yourselves whether you want to pull the trigger and grab yourself a pair or sit and say, you know what, this isn't the shoe for me. I'm going to grab the next one that comes along. But I'm already telling you right off the bat that this could be the shoe for you because it's an absolutely beautiful shoe. Here's a very silver shoe. Doing. That is what dropped earlier in this season. Now there were 2 variants of this. They are the CO.JP, very similar sort of story as today's sneaker. Big differences in the colorway, but there is one place where it's the same. But this shoe dropped in 2 different ways. One was a really fine, it's in a big, specially made case and very limited release, and then a more general release without that special case, just a week or so later. And it does go back to that 2001 regional exclusive CO.JP line that came out 19 years ago, and then here they are, a more general release, a wider release coming down the line. Now hopefully I've been able to show you the 2001 version, which is especially easy to see because it has that yellow wings logo on the side against the 2020 version, which has the silver up there, silver on the wings. So that's the story of that shoe. Already done a video about that, but then here we are today with this shoe, which is exactly the same story, word for word. The only differences come in materials and colors. Everything else is the same. It's a CO.JP sneaker. It did drop 19 years ago in 2001 as part of that regional exclusive. I think it might even have been, now that I think about it, it might even have been the very first regional exclusives for any Jordan sneaker. They had never done that before, and there you had that regional exclusive to Japan 19 years ago. I'd been here for 2 years at that time, but I wasn't as heavily into sneakers then as I am now. But I wish I'd picked up a pair of the original ones. And these guys, they did come out in 2001, and then here we are in 2020. Almost exactly the same shoe. Very few differences. The same colorway, the same materials, the same positioning of the branding and stuff like that. So what I want to do for you guys today is to take a look at that. I'm going to show you some of the important details on the shoe, and then I'm going to tell you a couple of things that aren't so obvious because we haven't got a close-up look at them yet, but they are well worth looking at. Now the 2 things I want to tell you that I can't show you is that A, on the insole you do have that CO.JP branding on there, which gives it that little bit of extra kind of like uniqueness. It's not the standard Jordan branding on the insole. It comes with that CO.JP, and then and to me that elevates it a little bit. It's a good thing. It's a plus. It takes the shoe into a different level on the sneaker sort of ranking. So I'm very happy to hear that that's going to be in there. Looking forward to seeing that. And then the other thing that I think I'm right in saying, I hope I don't get this wrong, but I think I'm right in saying I can show you on the previous ones, the silver ones, where it said on the back of the tongue 2001 2020. Now I think, and now this is all just from memory, the one that came with the metal case, there were only 2020 pairs that went on sale, so they were quite rare, whereas the one that was general release had a lot more. But they did have that 2001 and hyphen 2020 to show the link up between the OG from 19 years ago and then the retro that's dropping this year. And that's repeated on the back of the tongues of these guys. Like I said, the insole and the back of the tongues are two things that I can't show you yet because I haven't seen the pictures from them, I haven't found the images yet, but I'm told that the back of the tongue on these guys has that 2001, 2020, so that's something to look forward to and definitely keep an eye out for. Now into the things that I can show you and talk about on this shoe, and I think what I'll do is I'm going to go with the two main things that I think are the most important for people to know, and that's about the blue midnight navy materials on there, and it's also about the swoosh on the side. But then on top of that, there are more things to know about the shoe as well, so we'll get into that after these 2 points. So first things first, the best place to do this, I think, is to zoom in round about the toe box, kind of quarter line area, and that's where you get in there, and hopefully I'm showing you, and it's coming out on the green screen well enough, and you're looking at that blue, and you're saying, that's not what I was expecting. That doesn't look like your standard leather that goes on an Air Jordan 1. And you're quite right, it's not that standard leather. It's actually nubuck that's running through the length of the blue on the shoe on the standard leathers that appear in the white, which is very, very cool. And you can get a sense, hopefully, from that midnight blue, which already offers a sort of deep feel to it. And then the nubuck gives another sort of textured effect that adds an element of class, almost premium materials to the feel of the shoe. So that's really important. And again, I don't think many people, I think most people will be flicking through their shoes, and what they get to this one, they just be like, ah yeah, blue and white Air Jordan 1, whatever, and then keep on keeping on. So but it's important to know those blue materials on there are actually a higher quality and give you a bit more premium in the shoe. And then also, this is hard to see because of the material that they use, and it might look from a picture like this that it's more standard than it actually is, and what I'm talking about is the swoosh on the side. So if we travel back to that, you can see it echoes those earlier Jordan 1s because it's a silver swoosh on the side of these guys, and again that adds an element of premium. And I'm telling you, I'm expecting that people, it's almost like what is it, Tinder, is that what they call it, where you swipe left, swipe left, swipe left or something like that. I think people do that with their shoes. They just like quickly look through them and then something catches their eye and they stop on it. I don't think people would stop on this shoe because they don't realize the premium materials on the blue, and they don't realize it's a silver swoosh on the side. But then when you look at it from this angle, you're like, wow, actually that is very different from what you'd normally expect to see. And the same goes for the Wings logo. If we go up to the Wings logo on the side and have a look at that as well, there's a lot more involved in that than your standard Wings logo, but I don't think people will notice these details until they actually look at the shoe. And then when they do actually look at the shoe, they're like, wow, that is a heck of a lot cleaner than I was expecting. And then one final place that I want to go to talk about is the tongue, because it's got, it's a preference, it's a personal thing. I like it when the tongue matches the colorway. I'm not a huge fan of the tongue branding, especially having a different sort of vibe to it. So if you look at this shoe and think about the greys that come in on the swoosh, the silvers, the white and the blue, and if up on the tongue there they'd gone with red or green or something like that, that's what I'm not a huge fan of. Now you might be a big fan of that, and that's fine. We can have a difference of opinion and still be friends. But for me, I like it when the tongue branding matches the narrative of the shoe, as it clearly does here with the white tongue and then that midnight blue branding up there, which is very, very cool, and just finishes off the shoe really nicely as far as I'm concerned. So all in all, a great looking shoe, a great looking continuation of the CO.JP line, a great retro, more widely available. The drop date on it is maybe the same as the dark mochas of October 31st, but elsewhere I've also seen it down there November the 14th. Now what might happen is that the drop date is a lot later than I'm expecting. Even though I'm making this video in mid-October, I might just make some other videos about other shoes and put them in the rotation ahead of this guy just to push it back a bit if the drop date is later than I'm expecting. But either way, I'm making this video significantly in advance of the drop date, so hopefully it's given you enough time to think about the shoe and realize that it's actually very clean, and like me, it might be a shoe you want to dig into your pocket and grab some cash out and actually go ahead and pull the trigger on. Okay, for now though, time to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content, churning out the videos, trying to keep ahead of this thing as I've got full-time work and obviously a family man and things like that. So we're managed to keep on keeping on. So hopefully we'll keep on keeping on into the future and past 700 consecutive days on YouTube. Soon it'll be 2 years, non-stop every single day, which I think is a great thing. For now though, time to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content, and I'll do what I do at the end of every single video, which is tell you that I do this every single day, and that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.